So suddenly the Pittsburgh Penguins have life. Welcome to Penguins postseason postgame on Sports for Beginners and On the Ice and Behind the Benches. How do the Penguins have life? Game 5 and Game 4 in a special Penguins postseason postgame double edition, double dose edition starts right now. Let's get rolling. Welcome to Sports for Beginners. This is the show where I cover the Pittsburgh Penguins, Toronto Blue Jays, and take you on a journey through the world of sports. From the fans' perspective, here is your host, Scott McGregor. Let's have some fun. Hello, Penguins fans, Flyers Nation, and hockey fans in general. Welcome to a special Penguins postseason postgame double dose. Game 4 and Game 5. And guess what, Penguins fans and Flyer fans? The Keystone State Battle of Pennsylvania rivalry continues. We count down now to puck drop as we begin this recording of the Penguins and the Flyers. Games 4 and 5. We are counting down to puck drop of Game 6 from Philadelphia inside Xfinity Mobile Arena. But how? How did we get to this point? Welcome aboard. I am your host, Scott McGregor. Whew. Penguins fans, I'm going to echo something I said to Kelsey of the Hockey News for the Pittsburgh Penguins last night after the game ended. I never lost hope in the Pittsburgh Penguins or my sanity, and I'm pretty stoked that this game is going to Game 6. This series, I should say, is going to Game 6. But wow, what a night for surprises last night, and what a night for surprises at Xfinity Mobile Arena in Game 4. Let's kick it off there and start out with our goaltending matchup. As you know, the head coaches of the teams are Rick Tocchet and Dan Muse. Recently, 3 games in, and it has been Dan Vladar versus Stuart Skinner, not in Game 4. Now, it should be noted that Dan Vladar was a game-time decision going into Game 4 between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, but they get the okay from Rick Tocchet, and we're going Dan Vladar in Game number 4. But for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Dan Muse decides to go from Stuart Skinner to Arturs Sliovs, and Arturs Sliovs steps up to the plate and gets things rolling for Pittsburgh. As we are on a double dose, we will be doing the shake of the game for the Pittsburgh Penguins player I thought who has stood out in both of these games so far. And I'm going to add in a Philadelphia player who has stood out in Game 4 and Game 5, Game 4 and Game 5, a little bit later during the shake of the game segment. But that's a little later. Want to also issue the fact that we will get into the what's going on around the National Hockey League as far as the Stanley Cup playoffs a little bit later as well. So it's Arturs Sliovs versus Dan Vladar in Game 4. Our officiating crew for this game, the referees, including the standby referee, they were wearing the numbers 13, 15, and 6. Charon. Our linesmen wearing the numbers 55, 81, and 65. Tommy Hughes, Kyle Flemington, and Ryan Daisy. Tommy Hughes wearing the number 65. Ryan Daisy wearing number 81. Kyle Flemington, number 55. Pinstripes. For the referees, Furman Self wearing number 13, Gene Herbert wearing number 15, and Francis Charon wearing number 6. All right, here we go. Game 4. Philadelphia has a chance to end it on home soil. How did it go down? Let's find out. In the penalty summary, the Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 4 take a couple of penalties in the first period of play. First penalty of the game for Pittsburgh went to Anthony Mantha, 2 minutes for holding. Next penalty went to Blake Lizotte, 2 minutes for cross-checking. That was at 18 minutes 12 seconds. At 9 minutes 52 seconds, Anthony Mantha, 2 minutes for holding. Devin Barkey received the only Flyer penalty in the first period of play, coming in at 14 minutes and 19 seconds in Game 4. 2-minute minor for high sticking to Devin Barkey. It was on this penalty that the Pittsburgh Penguins struck again on the power play, and this time it's 87 getting things started. Up PG for PGH. Crosby, first goal of the series, first goal of the playoffs. Erik Karlsson on the assist, his second of the playoffs. It's 1-0 Penguins. Trying not to be Phil Borg here, but it's 1-0 Penguins on a PPG for PG to give the Penguins the early lead. Later in the next period, we go to period number 2 now. Rickard Rakell, scoring 1 minute and 3 seconds in, puts Pittsburgh on top 2-0. But look out, here comes Devin Barkey. We'll get to that in a second. Time of the Penguin goals. In the first period, the power play goal at 14 minutes 24 seconds. The penalty at 14 minutes 19 seconds to Devin Barkey. Speaking of whom, at 15 minutes 40 seconds, Devin Barkey, his first career NHL playoff goal and first goal of the series, gets Philadelphia on the board. It's 2-1 Penguins. First of the year in the playoffs for Devin Barkey. Trevor Zegras and Cam York on the assists. Cam York, his first assist of the series. Trevor Zegras, third assist of the playoffs. Rickard Rakell, by the way, his second goal for the Penguins, but first goal of the playoffs, coming in a minute 3 seconds in on the backhand, unassisted. Penalty takers in period number 2, as after 40 minutes, it would be Pittsburgh 2 and Philadelphia 1. In the second period of play, Philadelphia 2 penalties taken in that period. Garnett Hathaway, 2-minute minor for tripping at 1 minute 59 seconds. Luke Glendening, the other penalty in the period to Philadelphia, 2 minutes for cross-checking at 12 minutes 48 seconds. At the 5-minute 31 second mark of the game, Anthony Mantha serves a too many men on the ice penalty for Pittsburgh. Shots on goal after the first 2 periods of play. Philadelphia out in front 9-6 after 1 period of play. They are out in front 10-9 after 2 periods of play, leading 19-14 after the first 2 periods of play. 19-6, I believe, was our first period tally. Is that right? Yep, 19 to 6, I should say, after 20 minutes of play. So hang on a second. If that was the case, then where do we have the Penguins after 40 minutes of play? They got one more there. 15. All right, interesting. How about Philadelphia? Are they in the right area as my timeline here? Yes, they are. 19-15 was our shot total after 40 minutes of play. After regulation, Flyers outshot the Penguins 11-7, and outshoot Pittsburgh in the third period 11-7 in Game 4. Let's go to period number 3. Penguins on top, 2-1 after 40. And with that said, Christopher Letang getting things going at 4 minutes 27 seconds to put Pittsburgh on top 3-1. His first goal of the playoffs gives Pittsburgh a 3-1 advantage. Crosby's second assist of the playoffs, Rickard Rakell. Third assist of the playoffs as they pick up assists on Christopher Letang's 2-goal goal, putting Pittsburgh in front 3-1. The Penguins don't score again till the 19-minute 3-second mark, but at the 7-minute, 3-second mark, here comes Philadelphia. Penguins back ahead by 2? Not anymore. Travis Konecny puts Philadelphia back within a goal with his first goal of the playoffs. Christian Dvorak and Travis Sanheim pick up assists. Sanheim, his first of the playoffs and this series. Christian Dvorak, third assist of the playoffs and this series. Time of the Philadelphia goal to make it 3-2 in favor of Pittsburgh. 7 minutes, 3 seconds. Time of the goal for Christopher Letang to make it 3-1 Penguins. 4 minutes, 27 seconds. At the 19-minute, 3-second mark, Connor Dewar strikes into the empty net to secure the victory and get Pittsburgh back up by 2. His first playoff goal in his career and first playoff goal of the series. Blake Lizotte and the former Toronto Maple Leaf, Noel Acciari, both with their first assists of the playoffs. And last but certainly not least here, as we approach 19 minutes into our double dose of our program, wrapping up Game 4 as we go in our opening moments. Penalties in the period, 1-2 aside. There was actually one more penalty in Game 4, but I didn't note it down. That was Trevor Zegras, a 10-minute misconduct at the 20-minute mark of the third period for Philadelphia. The penalty that I do have noted down came at 3 minutes, 45 seconds. That was also the time of the Pittsburgh Penguins penalty. 2-minute minor for elbowing to Garnett Hathaway. And Erik Karlsson will receive 2 minutes for roughing. Garnett Hathaway was also able to draw a roughing penalty on Karlsson. Penguins win it 4-2. And just like that, the series going into Game 4 was 3-0 in favor of Philadelphia. But we're going back to the Burgh after Game 4 as the Penguins beat the Flyers 4-4 despite being outshot 30-22 after the game ended. They win the game by a final score of 4-2. Folks, that will do it for Game 4's recap so far. But before we go to our first commercial break, it's time to find out who our 3 stars of the game were. But you know what? We still have a Game 5 to get to. So let's go to our 3 stars of the game and our remaining Game 4 stats off the jump of our first break of the program, which we'll take right now. And of course, we will get to Game 5. Stats, breakdown, 3 stars, all that jazz within our second break of the program. The wraparound of Game 4 coming up in just a moment. 3 stars, remaining stats from Game 4 in just a moment. Stay with us on Penguins post-season post-game double dose. It continues shortly.
Hey Allie, did you know we have a books panel?
I did not know that. When is it?
It takes place on the last Friday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Where we have fun and engaging conversations
about a book that one of the panelists picks.
So, how can I learn more about the show?
To learn more, please visit bookspanel.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
The Books Pen is part of the Musa Slobodia Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodianetwork.ca. While you're over there, hit subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Hi, Scott. It's Ali here. I just wanted to mention that I'm really enjoying the show and I'm really enjoying what you're putting together. And I wanted to just say I'm enjoying being a part of it as well. So please keep up the phenomenal work and make sure you guys keep this podcast going because it really suits you well.
CNT Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down, nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for the Melting Pot every Saturday on CNT Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for the Melting Pot on CNT Radio.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Penguins postseason postgame double dose games 4 and 5. Our topic of conversation. Just a quick reminder as we welcome you back. Going in to game 4, the Philadelphia Flyers had an opportunity to finish off the Pittsburgh Penguins on home ice, but the Penguins turned to the rookie goaltender Arturs Sliovs, and Sliovs saved the season for game 4 and had the Penguins fighting for another day. We will get to game 5 in just a matter of moments, but first, it is just about time to put game 4 in the rearview mirror, and to do that, let's take a look right now at our 3 stars of game 4, where the Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2 at Xfinity Mobile Arena on April 25th, 2026. And just 2 days later, got a win on home soil to force what we are counting down to Game 6 in Philly on April 29th, this Saturday. So, folks, how has it been going? Well, our 3 stars of the game from April the 25th are brought to you by on the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins radio and TV network, their respective sponsors. We don't have a sponsor for that. Neither do we have one for the play of the game. But we will get to that a little later, maybe after we get through Game 5's breakdown. Our 3rd star in Game 4 was the Penguins captain, number 87, Sidney Crosby. 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. 2nd star went to Philadelphia forward, number 11, Travis Konechny. 1 point, 1 goal, no assists. And the 1st star might have been number 58 in your program at Xfinity Mobile Arena, but Penguins fans, in a do-or-die situation in Game 4, he is number 1 in your heart with 1 goal, 1 point, and no assists. Give it up for Penguins defenseman, number 58, Christopher Letang. Letang, Crosby, and Konechny, your 3 stars of the game in Game 4. The remaining stats of this hockey game from Game 4, well, we saw 55 face-offs, 24 of those 55 being won by the Pittsburgh Penguins, 31 of the 55 face-offs being won by Philadelphia, for a face-off percentage for Philadelphia of 56.4%, almost 57% good. The Pittsburgh Penguins almost at 44% good in the face-off dot. They finished with 43.6% good in the face-off dot. They scored once in 3 opportunities on the power play. Philadelphia unable to score as they go 0 for 3 on the power play. On the PK, however, they go 2 for 3, killing off 2 of their 3 penalties in the game. Pittsburgh perfect on the PK in Game 4, 3 for 3. They spent 8 minutes in the box. 18 minutes in the box for Philadelphia, 36 hits for Pittsburgh in Game 4, 29 hits for the Flyers in Game 4, the Flyers with 15 giveaways and 3 takeaways in Game 4. Pittsburgh with 7 takeaways and 14 giveaways. 18 block shots for Philadelphia in Game 4. 15 block shots for Pittsburgh in Game 4. All right, play of the game from Game 4 coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's flip the page to Game 5 in Pittsburgh, where at the end of that game, as the Penguins win that game also, this time by a final score of 3-2. Not to quote Josh gets off. But you better make plans, Pittsburgh. We're going to Game 6 in Philly on Wednesday night. Not to quote you, Josh, but it was something that stuck with me after Game 5 ended, despite the fact that, well, I was watching in person the Toronto Blue Jays, who were defeated 5-0 by the Boston Red Sox, who are going through quite a turnaround here. Yep, you heard me. Quite a turnaround. But we'll talk about that another time. Let's get to Game 5 of our breakdown. Here we go, folks. In Game 5, this one from PPG Paints Arena, the officiators, as the Penguins face yet another do-or-die situation, down 3-1 this time, however. The referees, Furman South as the standby referee, wearing the number 13. Francis Chiron and John McIsaac, wearing numbers 6 and 2 in pinstripes for the referees. Linesman, the standby linesman, wearing the number 86, was Jesse Marquis. Scott Cherry, wearing number 50, and Killian McNamara, wearing the number 93, for a game on a Monday night in Pittsburgh, in which the Penguins once again turned to Arturs Sliovs, and for the 5th game in a row, the Philadelphia Flyers turned to Dan Vladar. So now we have Chapter 2 of Dan Vladar versus Arturs Sliovs, and once again, Arturs Sliovs plays out of his mind, and the Penguins get the game in Pittsburgh too to stay alive again. Here we go, folks. Game 5 breakdown. Here we go. In the first period, couple of penalties being taken at the 4-minute, 17-second mark. That was to Samuel Girard. 2 minutes for tripping. Devin Barkey able to draw that call on Pittsburgh. At 14 minutes, 27 seconds, Anthony Mantha and Evgeny Malkin for the Penguins going. 2 minutes for roughing for Evgeny Malkin. 2 minutes for cross-checking for Anthony Mantha. Garnett Hathaway receiving 2 penalties at that time as well. 2 minutes for tripping and 2 minutes for roughing. And Travis Konechny also going to go to the box for the Flyers. 2 minutes for roughing. The calls on Travis Konechny, Garnett Hathaway, Evgeny Malkin, and Anthony Mantha. Samuel Girardi with the only penalty for Pittsburgh, that is tripping in the first period of play. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes, 17 seconds. But early on, glue guy Elmer Zoderblom, recently acquired from the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Red Wings, not the Tigers, that's a baseball team. The Red Wings, excuse me. His first playoff goal of the series gets Pittsburgh on the board early at 2 minutes 45 seconds. Anthony Mantha and Parker Wotherspoon picking up their first assists of the series. And once again, the Penguins have the lead to start the game. After 1 period of play, it's 1-0 Penguins. Shots on goal for the period. After 1 period of play, here we go. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, 11. For the Philadelphia Flyers, 9. Penguins out shooting the Flyers 11-9 on home soil after 1 period of play. It's 1-0 Penguins. Second period rolls around. Here comes Philly, but the Penguins strike twice as well in the second period of play. Only penalty of the period went to Pittsburgh, and that went to Erik Karlsson. 2 minutes for tripping at 9 minutes 23 seconds. That was the only penalty in the second period of play. As the scoring goes, first, Connor Dewar strikes again, his second playoff goal in the series, second in his NHL career in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Ryan Shea joining the fun here as he and Crosby pick up for Ryan Shea his first assist of the playoffs. And for Sidney Crosby, his 4th assist of the playoffs. They are now up 2-0 on Philadelphia. It's 2-0 Penguins. As we are on the Game 5 recap, after 20 minutes, it was 1-0. Now it's 2-0 Penguins. 2-0 Penguins. It eventually becomes 3-2 Penguins, which would be our final score. But how did it get there? Well, Alex Bump. His first playoff goal in his NHL career in the Stanley Cup playoffs puts Philadelphia on the board. Alex Bump. First playoff goal in his NHL career. First playoff goal of the series, Rasmus Ristolainen. Third assist of the playoffs, Noah Cates. Also on the assist, his second assist of the playoffs. Time of the goal, 3 minutes, 29 seconds. So in about 29 seconds, pretty much 12 seconds actually, the Penguins and the Flyers in the second period trade goals in 12 seconds. But Philly wasn't done there. Just before the Penguins get the lead right back and make it 3-2, Travis Sanheim strikes again. His second goal of the playoffs. Rasmus Ristolainen's second assist of the game. Fourth of the playoffs. Travis Konechny. Third assist of the playoffs. And let's see. Yep, only assist so far of the game in Game 5. As 15 minutes and 6 seconds in to the second period of play, we're all square at 2-2. Philadelphia 2, Pittsburgh 2. But at the 17-minute, 12-second mark of the second period of play, it's Christopher Letang who puts the puck by Dan Vladar for his second playoff goal in this series. Sidney Crosby, having himself a series, picked up his second assist of the game, fourth of the playoffs. And Ryan Shea picking up his first assist of the playoffs. Ryan Shea joins the fray in Game 5 as the Pittsburgh Penguins hang on after that goal at 17 minutes 12 seconds to beat Philadelphia 3-2 in Game 5. They outshot Philadelphia in the second period of play 6-5 after 20 minutes of play. I should say 40 minutes of play in Game 5, outshooting Philadelphia 17-14. So they were outshooting Philadelphia 11-9 after one period of play, 6-5 after 40 minutes of play, making it 17-14 in favor of the Penguins, and they led 3-2 after 40, despite leading in Game 5 after one period of play, 1-0. No goal scorers in the third period of play in Game 5, but Philadelphia getting caught twice, once at the end of the game and once early third period. Emil Andre picking up a 2-minute minor for tripping at 1:37 seconds into the third period. And then late third period at the 20-minute mark, Travis Konechny going back to the box, 2 minutes, cross-checking. It's not going to matter because the Pittsburgh Penguins hang on. And as Josh Getzoff said, and I'll echo it, but not to quote Josh, I'll give you your flowers, Josh, but not to quote you. But you said at the end of this game, you better make plans, Pittsburgh. We're going to Philadelphia for Game 6 on Wednesday night, which is what we are counting down to. Philadelphia outshot Pittsburgh in Game 5 in period number 3, 6-4. But the Penguins outshot Philadelphia 21-20 and win the game 3-2 in Pittsburgh, setting up the stage for Game 6 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Philadelphia Wednesday night. All right, folks, and our double dose will continue after the break. The 3 stars of game number 5 as the Penguins stave off elimination again to force Game 6 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We will get to our 3 stars from Game 5. Remaining game totals from Game 5. Game 4, play of the game. Game 5 play of the game. What's going on around the NHL? Who has made it to the second round? Who still has a shot? All those answers when this Penguins post-season post-game show Double Dose continues. Hang with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Have you ever wondered about the books we've been reading throughout the week?
Are you looking for friendly banter and technology tips at the same time?
Then you've come to the right place.
Check out The Ali and McCara Show. It airs live on Sunday afternoons at 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Until spring. In the spring, we'll switch back to Mondays.
To learn more about the show, please visit thealiandmccarashow.ca.
While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. And besides, it's free.
Enter your email address and hit subscribe.
The Ali and McCara Show is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca.
Enter your email and hit subscribe so you never miss network updates.
Take another look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo. Two powerful women of diverse backgrounds having genuine, unique, and uncomfortable conversations that everyone needs to have. Join Melanie and Gerda for conversations about what is missing from human connections.
Have you ever wanted a talk show that discusses news, politics, the show's favorite sports teams, as well as sports media and broadcasting? Check out The Ali Musa Show, where we discuss these topics in a single package. To learn more about the show, please visit thealimusashow.ca. While you're over there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email address and hit subscribe.
The Ali Musa Show is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen. To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca. While you're there, subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Penguins and the Flyers. You never know what you're going to get with the Battle of PA. Rather, the Keystone State Rivalry Series. And you never know what you're going to get in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Welcome back to Penguins post-season post-game here on the Ice and Behind the Benches. And of course, Sports for Beginners. I'm your host, Scott McGregor. We've broken down Game 5, all in a double dose. But we're not quite done yet. We got to get to the play of the game from both sides. And we got to get to our 3 stars of the game and stats from Game 5. Let's kick it off into overdrive as we get to our 3 stars from Game 5. Reminder in case you missed it earlier. Well, it was Dan Vladar versus Arturs Sliovs once again. And the Penguins win again. They now have a chance to force Game 7 back in Pittsburgh with a chance to see who will battle Carolina in round 2. We will see, but one game at a time. All right, let's not waste any more time. Get ready to our 3 stars of the game. As we said in Game 4, they are brought to you by on the Philadelphia Flyers and Pittsburgh Penguins radio and TV networks, their respective sponsors. If you have any difference of opinion in our 3 stars as mentioned from Game 4 and Game 5 and all the other games in particular, you can let us know by email at sportsforbeginnerspodcast82@gmail.com or on our Discord server or WhatsApp group chat or through however your favorite podcast platform works. With that said, your 3rd star of Game 5 went to the Penguins' aforementioned center, number 19, Connor Dewar. Sorry, Connor, if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. Hopefully I get it right. 1 goal, 1 point, no assists. He was your third star in Game 5. Your second star, no goals in Game 5, but 2 assists. For the second game in a row, it's Sidney Crosby as your second star. And the first star, just like Game 4, although Crosby was the third star in Game 4, he is the second star in Game 5. But just like Game 4 was the first star in Game 4, first star once again in Game 5. It went to number 58, Christopher Letang. 1 goal, no assists, 1 point. Tanger, Crosby, and Dewar picking up the 3 stars of the game. Stats from Game 5. Besides the shots on goal, which were 21-20 in face-offs, were 60. They were out of 60 face-offs. Pittsburgh winning 28 out of the 60 for a face-off percentage of just about 47%. They finished Game 5 with a face-off percentage 46.7%, 0.3% good for the Philadelphia Flyers, winning 30 out of 60 face-offs. Pittsburgh winning again 28 out of 60 face-offs. Philadelphia winning 32 out of 60. This time the PK shined and the power play went 0 for. Penguins 0 for 2 on the power play. On the PK they went 2 for 2. Flyers 0 for 2 on the power play, 2 for 2 on the PK. So you went perfect on one end, almost perfect on the other side, but you went perfect on the PK side. All in all, with the Penguins winning 3-2, our series is Philadelphia 3, Pittsburgh 2. We're almost at winner take all, but to get there, the Penguins are going to need to stave off elimination for the 3rd game in a row. Can they do that? We'll find out on Wednesday night. Penalty minutes. Pittsburgh with 8 minutes in the box. Philadelphia with 10. Hits in the game, 37 for the Penguins, 42 for Philadelphia. 16 block shots for Philly in this one. 15 block shots for Pittsburgh in this one. 4 takeaways each to Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Philadelphia with 11 giveaways. And the Penguins had way too many giveaways in this one, 22 to be exact, but they still managed to win this hockey game and make sure this series doesn't end 4-1 in favor of Philadelphia. It's now 3-2 heading into Game 6. The Penguins can find a way to tie this series all up at 3-3 if they can get the win Wednesday night in Philadelphia. All right, folks, we are going to step aside. When we return, what's going on around the NHL? What series have ended and what series are still looking for their winner? We will find out who's looking for their winner, what series have ended, plus the play of the game. And after our final commercial break of the program, as we get set to continue our countdown to Game 6, between the Penguins and the Flyers from Philadelphia on Wednesday night, we will do the shake of the game to set things up, along with my final thoughts from Game 4 and Game 5, and a Game 6 preview for the play of the game. What series in first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs have ended? Who's still looking for their winner in round 1? Besides Penguins and Flyers, all coming up next.
CNT Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down. Nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for The Melting Pot every Saturday on CNT Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for The Melting Pot on CNT Radio.
Hey, Allie, did you know we have a books panel?
I did not know that. When is it?
It takes place on the last Friday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern,
where we have fun and engaging conversations.
about a book that one of the panelists picks.
So, how can I learn more about the show?
To learn more, please visit bookspanel.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
The Books Panel is part of the Musa Slobodia Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca. While you're over there, hit subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Take another look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo, two powerful women of diverse backgrounds having genuine, unique, and uncomfortable conversations that everyone needs to have. Join Melanie and Gerda for conversations about what is missing from human connections.
So the Pittsburgh Penguins have life as we welcome you back to the Penguins postseason post-game double dose, Game 5 and Game 4 recap. I'm your host, Scott McGregor. Welcome back to the program. As we speak with you, that the following series have ended. Carolina has defeated and made quick work of the Ottawa Senators, beating the Senators 4-0 to advance to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They will await the winner of Penguins and Flyers, which could be decided in Philadelphia on Wednesday night. But if the Penguins win, I believe it will be Saturday night, May 2nd, 2026, where Philadelphia or Pittsburgh will face Carolina. In order for us to get to that timeline, the Penguins have to get the win in Philadelphia on Wednesday night. And with that said, the other series that ended 4-0 was the Colorado Avalanche, who took down the LA Kings in their final game 5-1 on Sunday, April 20, 2026. They also won 2-1 in overtime and in regulation, and beat the Kings in LA 4-2 in Game 3 before ending things off 5-1 in LA in what was, as we can confirm, the final hockey game of the career of Anze Kopitar. He is calling it a career. I believe that's right. I'll have to look back at my facts to get it straight, just in case I'm not speaking right. Anyways, Ottawa lost 4-0 to Carolina in a season series where they were shut out in Game 1, 2-0, beat in double overtime 3-2, and in regulation, the Hurricanes beat the Ottawa Senators on April 25th, 4-2. On April 23rd, they beat Ottawa 2-1. All things considered, Carolina awaits Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. One of those teams will play Carolina in round 2. Other series waiting for their winner, the Buffalo Sabres, who will play game number 5 tonight, have an opportunity to close out the series with Boston and await Montreal or Tampa Bay. That series between Tampa Bay and Montreal is tied at 2 games apiece. If Buffalo wins tonight, the Buffalo Sabres are off to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. If the Philadelphia Flyers win on Wednesday night, they are heading to the second round against the Metropolitan Division champion Carolina Hurricanes. But if they lose on Wednesday night, all bets are off in Game 7, and it's do or die for both sides, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Over in the West, Colorado's awaiting the winner of the Dallas-Minnesota series. If the Oilers lose to the Anaheim Ducks, the Ducks will be awaiting the winner of Mammoth Golden Knights. All right, here we go. Play of the game time. From Game 4, my play of the game, that's going to go to Christopher Letang. Really set the tone in Game 4 to let Philadelphia know that the Penguins weren't just going to sit down and die. They knew they were in a dire situation, and they made some adjustments, and here we are. Game 5, now waiting Game 6. Speaking of Game 5, the play of the game from Game 5 for me, well, that will belong to Alex Bump. I really liked what Alex Bump did there. I really hope goaltenders like Dan Vladar are okay. They're good enough for my play of the game. I really like what I saw from Christopher Letang in Game 4. Nice way to get the Penguins up by 2, and then eventually winning that game by 2 goals, winning 4-2 in Game 4. But I liked what I saw from Alex Bump, and I really think he deserves it. All right, folks, time for our final break of the program. When we come back, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, standout players in our Shake of the Game segment, which is coming up next. Final thoughts on Game 4 and Game 5. Game 6 preview, I'll provide you with my potential final score, outro music, with a Bucko update to see how things are going in Pirates land. With that said, we'll be back right after this.
Hey Allie, did you know we have a books panel?
I did not know that. When is it?
It takes place on the last Friday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Where we have fun and engaging conversations.
About a book that one of the panelists picks.
So, how can I learn more about the show?
To learn more, please visit bookspanel.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
The Books Panel is part of the Musa Slobodia Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodianetwork.ca. While you're over there, hit subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Well, in that case, it is kind of do or die for Pittsburgh, because if they want to play back in Pittsburgh in Game 7, they got to get the job done in Game 6 on Wednesday night in Philadelphia. For Philadelphia, if they want to avoid a Game 7, they got to get the job done tomorrow night in Philadelphia in Game 6. Note the start time: 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central, 4 Pacific in Philadelphia. It is time for our Shake of the Game from Game 4 and Game 5. We're going to do overall, but first let's give you some final thoughts. And honestly, I thought both games were really played well by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I thought that in Game 5, even though I wasn't really watching the game, but I did watch the highlights of that game, I do feel like they are really starting to find their game. And in the fourth game, by the way, I also thought Pittsburgh was looking a little bit more for their lost mojo, and they've really, really turned it on since Arturs Sliovs went into the goaltending position. I do hope that Dan Vladar is okay. Could we see Sliovs versus Vladar in Game 6, or will it be Sliovs versus Samuel Arison in Game 6? We don't know. I would say it's going to be Sliovs versus Vladar in Game 6 one more time, but I would not be shocked if it's Arturs Sliovs versus Samuel Arison, I should say. Anyways, sorry Samuel if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. I know I was pronouncing it wrong, so I apologize. But really, hockey fans, it's going to be interesting to see what the goaltending matchup looks like in Game 6 on Wednesday night. But one day, one game, and of course, if you're thinking too far ahead and going to the Stanley Cup Final, one series at a time. Let's just take it one day at a time and one game at a time, and get ready right now for Game 6. Before we do that, Shake of the Game for the standout Penguins player of Game 4 and Game 5. I could go to of game 4 and game 5. I could go to a player that was skating and shooting the puck, but I gotta give it to Arturs Sliovs. He has been standing on his head since he got the call in game 4, and it doesn't look like he has missed a beat. He looks like playoff Sliovs to me. For Philadelphia, I'm gonna go to Alex Bump for the shake of the game and standout of game 5 and game 4. I don't know, Philadelphia. I don't believe you should be scared, and I don't believe Penguins fans should be too excited, but it's definitely looking like the Penguins have some life. I'm not gonna quote my brother on this, but he mentioned when we looked at the lines ahead of game 5 that Matevei Michkov was out of the game for game 5. He did not like that Matevei Michkov was sitting out that game. So we should see maybe Matevei Michkov back in the game for game 6, but we shall see how it all pans out. And with that, folks, game 5, final thoughts. Another really nice game by the Penguins. And here we go. Now we got another do or die situation for the Pittsburgh Penguins in game 6. Will they be able to get it to a do or die situation for Philadelphia? We shall soon see. That is going to do it, folks, for our program. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. To honor the great Mike Lang as we close out our program, heading into our prep for game number 6 of this series, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. That's going to do it for us here tonight on the podcast, today on the podcast, rather, whenever you may be tuning in, doesn't matter. We hope to check up with you again real soon. The Penguins and the Flyers are in a 3-2 series. The winner of game 6 either forces game 7 in Pittsburgh Saturday night, May 2nd, 2026, is off to play Carolina in round 2. What will the scenario be by the end of the game? Check us in on our game 6 recap to find out what the scenario is. That's it for us. And now to honor Mike Lang with my spin-off of his iconic line, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Brazeau has just left the building. We'll talk to you after game 6. But right now, stay tuned after the outro music for a Bucko update, giving us an update on what's going on around Bucko Land. My name is Scott McGregor. We will see you after Game 6, Penguins fans and hockey fans in general, including Flyers Nation. Talk to you then. Thank you so much for listening to Sports for Beginners. If you would like to learn more about the show, you can visit the podcast Facebook page or visit the official website. You can also send us an email at sportsforbeginnerspodcast8231@gmail.com. As we always remind you, it is not goodbye, it is until next time.